Uh, yes, I have been trying to let my voice heard, but without support, without calling, can't do it. You have to be part of the group like this. It's too lonely. You need some supporter with you. That's the only way. Uh, well, as a 13-year-old girl, I experienced that. I was just 1 mile away from the hyper center, and I was at the Army headquarters. You see, we were mobilized to do the job for the Army. A 13-year-old girl dealing with the top secret. Can you imagine how desperate Japan was? Anyway, the moment we saw that flash, the building collapsed, and I had the sensation of floating up in the air, and when I regained my consciousness in the total darkness and silence, I found myself pinned under the collapsed building. I tried to move my body, but I couldn't, so I knew I was faced with death. It's still a mystery to me today. I wasn't panicked at that moment. I was serene. I was faced with death. Then somebody started touching me from behind. Don't give up, don't give up. Keep moving, keep pushing. I'm trying to help you. Since it was the Army, the men were around, and one of the soldiers, I never saw him in the dark, but he loosened all the timbers and everything, which was pressing me down. I was free, and I could crawl out of that darkness. By the time I came out, the building was on fire. That meant about 30 other girls who were with me were there, burned to death alive. And although that happened at 8:15 in the morning, the world was dark, much darker than this. It was like twilight, because all the particles and soot and smoke and dirt rising up into the air, into that mushing cloud, I suppose, the sun ray was prevented. Anyway, in the dark, I started seeing the moving objects. And dawned on me they were human beings, but they didn't look like human beings. They were beyond recognition, that horrible. And nobody was yelling or running and asking for help. They were simply just shouting. That's all the screams they had. And all they said was, what? I bet their bodies must have been so hot, because after all, at the ground level, the temperature of that fireball caused by the detonation was 4,000 degrees Celsius. 4,000. Yeah. Anyway, all parts of the body so missing, the bleeding and skin and flesh hanging. You have seen all these pictures, and you are showing that's exactly what I witnessed. I think some of those teenagers over there could have been from my school. I was in grade 8, and grade 7 and grade 8 students from all the high schools in the city were taken to the central part of the city where the detonation took place. So about 8,000 grade 7 and grade 8 students disappeared, vaporized, carbonized. And one of them was my sister-in-law, the teacher who was guiding the students. But I'm alive because I wasn't there. I was one of the small group of about 30 of us who had been chosen to learn how to decode messages, secret messages coming from